What's up, everybody? It's your boy King Hussle. And yes, it's the best money and credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce, new lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you'll be the first one to be notified. You'll be the first one to know what's going on. And hey, you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on my Twitch, King Hussle Live. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and that Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All you got to do is click the title on every video. Once you click the title on every video, at the bottom in the description, all my social media links will pop up, all right? Got a lot of fake King Hussle pages out there, so please get a FaceTime verification call or video to make sure you see this face. Make sure you're doing legit business and you are getting what you pay for, all right? And before we get anything started, this is all educational purposes only, not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. What to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, my real Hustle Nation Empire family members. And we are back at it again with the gems, back at it again with the sauce, back at it again with the information that's going to turn you into a boss. So you're tired of being a zero, you ready to be a family hero? Listen up, take a seat, get your notepad and get your pen, because you already know when I drop these videos and y'all get them notifications, it's going to be some information that's going to help you win. All right, in today's video, we're going to be talking about CPNs, pre-built CPNs, synthetic credit profiles, and how they're connected to loans, credit cards, and lines of credit. Because a lot of people out there that are confused. There's a lot of people out there that here's 10 people say the sky is pink and now they believe the sky is pink. It's a lot of people out there in the world like that goes off what they hear and not what they do their research on. So in today's video, I'm going to explain to you guys what CPNs are, what pre-built CPNs are, what synthetic identities are, and how people are utilizing them to get loans, credit cards, and lines of credit from tens to 50s to hundreds to millions of dollars. So with that being said, let's get into the gems that's going to keep us safe and keep us protected and hopefully help us win. So what are CPNs? First things first. The word CPN is an acronym for credit profile number or credit privacy number. And those words were made up after COVID-19 or during COVID-19. It sounded good, so people stuck with it and ran with it. Synthetic identities. Synthetic identities were created for people in the witness protection program who snitch. So when they get out of jail, they can go get out and live life under a whole new identity, whole new credit profile, whole new person to keep them safe. COVID-19. COVID-19 came around and it was something called PPP loans, Payroll Protection Program, which allowed businesses to get up millions of dollars in loans and be forgiven for them, meaning that they didn't have to pay it back as long as they did the forgiveness paperwork and information correctly. A lot of people applied for the PPP loans and got funded millions of dollars and did not do the forgiveness part, and now they're in jail. See, a lot of people don't use their brains. A lot of people, the main goal for people is to live life like they are this big, rich, fancy person. And that's just what it is. Everybody want to look like they're not broke. Everybody want to live like they're a boss, a queen, whatever you want to call it. Everybody wants to live that life, but doesn't understand that life and how that life is actually run and how that life is actually managed. They just want the money and the glamour that comes with it. So for a long time, people have been using other people's identity. So let's start with CPN. So CPN's credit profile number, but technically it's a synthetic identity. And a lot of people who try to create these synthetic identities or CPNs, they have a hard time finding new numbers that have not been used yet. So a lot of times people use deceased people's information even kids' information. Now, for a long time, parents across the world have been using their children's information to get bills in their name, and that's just what it is. You know somebody whose parent has gotten a bill in their name as a kid, and it might even be you. So when that parent is getting a electric bill, a water bill, some phone bill in that child's name, they're now creating a new credit profile. So basically what they did was took that number, took that information, and used their own name and created a new credit profile. Some people use babies' names. Babies' informations. So it's a guy called, it's some Matthew Cox. We probably all heard of him. And he was creating synthetic identities and was getting loans, credit cards, and lines and credit and things like that. And a lot of people come up with new ways. See, this is the thing. People utilize their brain to do the wrong things, meaning that people utilize their brain to figure out ways to get over on the system, how to get this fraudulent loan, get this fraudulent credit card, and things like that. And then they get this information and then they try to pass it down to the smaller minded people, and they just hear money and see you can do this and do that, and then they run with it. So CPNs, credit privacy numbers, credit profile numbers, was created by the government for synthetic identities for people in the Witness Protection Program. PPP Payroll Protection Program came along, and then people got these loans with fraudulent businesses. Millions of dollars of fraudulent businesses was handed out. And when these loans was handed out, a lot of these businesses was, listen, when you create a business, you gotta like get it registered with the public records and these things like that. The banks wasn't even checking for that, and the banks didn't find out till after when they did the research. It was, you couldn't find it in the public records and things like that. So people were starting to say like, oh, they'll let you get a loan this easy. They don't even check this, they don't check that. So you pass that along to somebody, they're gonna be like, oh, cool, I want to do it too if we can get some money. So since COVID-19, people have been under this CPN phase, the CPN world. All you can get these cars, all you can get these apartments. Now, this is what happened. People had a hard time figuring out ways to get new numbers for that profile. So what they did was they said, you know what? Bump all that. We're gonna get other people's credit profiles, just like how parents was getting the kids' profile and using their name to use their credit or get a bill because their credit didn't have nothing. They're doing the exact same thing. So they're finding people's credit profiles and information on the dark web. And like I said, in today's world, it's kind of easy for somebody to get a hold of this type of information. Why? Because you got so many people working in different departments and different businesses that deal with this information, from banks, car dealerships, a lot of big businesses that need your information. And a lot of times the employees are working remote, meaning that they're working from home. Trust me, I know. I used to talk to somebody that worked at a certain dealership finance department, and she would work at home 3 days out of the 5. So when she's at home, we're in the bed. And I can literally see everything right there. So it just to run through my mind, like, just imagine all these employees that work at banks, that's working at these dealerships, that's working and having this information, that's working remote, and what's just being out there. Because who's to say if somebody has a boyfriend or a girlfriend that's standing over their back getting certain information and they don't know? Who's to say? So people gotta like really understand, like, our information is very vulnerable. It's up to us to protect our information, getting LifeLock, freezing our credit, making sure we every so often changing our debit and credit cards, the information on them, because we're using these cards so often. We're we're applying for things so often, or we got accounts and we got these things that's we're vulnerable. Just put it like this: we're vulnerable, and it's up to us to stay protected. So we got to do the things that we have to do to keep ourselves protected, because fraud and scam is starting to take over the world. It's starting to be a dark cloud that's taking over the world. It's like everybody is scamming or committing some type of fraud. But in naturality, this has been going on since the beginning of time. It's just about if you're going to be aware of it or not. Because if you're not aware of it, you're not going to believe in it until you actually see it. See, people, it's a thing called seeing is believing. And once you see it, you believe it. And I've been trying to show y'all for the past 6 years that this world is corrupted by fraud and scams, from the government to the businesses to the people. But people don't want to understand it. People just want a quick buck. People just want to live life for the moment and not be aware of the real world. So, CPNs, people got lazy. People start having a hard time trying to figure out if it was used or not. So what they did was they started stealing people's profiles and connecting people's names to those profiles and creating fraudulent documentations. So then they start calling those pre-built CPNs. And then there's so many videos on YouTube where people saying, "Oh, I got a CPN." They said I can use a CPN. I even heard somebody say it's a second chance credit profile, a second chance credit. Like, what are y'all talking about? Listen, at some point in time, I can't even say that because I'm starting to realize that everybody don't got common sense. So I can't say that at some point in time you gotta use your common sense because everybody doesn't have common sense. So if you can fix your words to say that to a cop, that alone lets me know you don't have common sense. Common sense would have been that if you can have a second credit profile, wouldn't you think that everybody in the world would have one? A second chance credit? Don't you think everybody in the world have one? Because there's more people in the world with bad credit than good credit. So if you can have a second chance credit profile, everybody will have one. Everybody, even the people that's rich, they'll have one for just in case. Oh, let me use this credit profile because I know I got more going on this one, and I'm gonna use it. Make it make sense. So people don't utilize their brain, and they let people they literally buy these stolen credit profiles, aka pre-built CPNs, try to go get cars, and this be the problem with those. Y'all using other people's information, and y'all look nothing like them because people getting fake IDs, and with the fake IDs, you gotta use driver's license numbers. People using real driver's license numbers, and all they gotta do is type in the number, and that picture from the DMV is gonna pop up with that real person. So say it's me, right? And I got this white man, 340 pounds, 6'3" in North Carolina. I'm using his information. And they run the information. And he was born in 1957. Come on now, it don't make no sense. And I did a reaction video actually of somebody that was 24 years old that was using somebody's information like that. Police asked him, "What year are you born?" He was like, 1957. Y'all can go watch that. But and I gotta hurry up and get wrapped this up because I don't want to be dropping too long videos. But that's what's happening. People got lazy, started using other people's credit profile, and it made it easier because if you go into this place with an ID that looks real with this information, they run that social. Only thing that's gonna pop up is that name and that no credit scores. So if you're using that person's name and information and your picture is connected to that when they go in their credit score, the picture is not going to pop up, just the name and the information. So they go like, cool, you're approved. You got good credit. Boom. And that's how it works. But then they start doing other things. They start doing a little more research, and then, or the customer who information has been stolen might call. But hey, I didn't keep that card in. So then the dealership might trick that person to come get an extra key or something. Then the police there. So this happens all the time. Very often. And people don't even think of those consequences. So people find ways to utilize other those type of things, pre-built CPNs and synthetic identities. Now you have people that want to get the bag, people who want to get money. So people start utilizing CPNs to get um loans, credit cards, things like that. And I did a reaction video. Chick was getting using somebody's credit profile and getting Visa signature credit cards and getting cash advances on the card. So if you can get a Visa signature credit card for $10,000 and get a cash advance for $8,000, however much the whole 10, then 9,500. A scammer or a fraudster is going to get excited. And they're going to be like, well, I'm going to keep doing this. So let me keep. And that's what's happening. So the CPN world, the synthetic identity world, loans, credit cards, and lines of credit, people are utilizing these things. Now, there are people out there that are finding new numbers and building those credit profiles to 700, 800 credit scores. Then they're utilizing that to start businesses, run the business credit up, 80 payday scores, paydex scores, paydex and paynet scores, two different things. Getting loans, credit cards, lines of credit on the business side, and they're doing the same thing. It's the same process. So it's just about having the knowledge of what's really going on and not being green out here in this world. Because when you are aware, when you are woke, you already see the red flags before anything happens. And when you don't, when you're not aware and awoke, a lot of things tend to go over people's head and people be so green and then they get mad when things happen. So CPNs, pre-built CPNs. People are getting loans, credit cards, and lines of credit with pre-built CPNs, real CPNs, synthetic identities. But a lot of times people get caught because of the information, the bad IDs. And so a lot of times people don't get caught because they took the time to do whatever they had to do to make sure nothing came back on them. So if they had to take a month or two to find a number that's not being used to connect it to whatever profile that they're doing, that's what they did. So we got to start being more aware, more woke out there, being more safe, because at the end of the day, nobody wants their information to be stolen and used by somebody else. Because if you can't get along and somebody steals your information and they're able to get along with your own, it wouldn't make sense. Like how you use my credit profile and go get a loan, a credit card, line of credit, and I can't even do that. And that's what people are doing. People will really steal people's profiles, build the credit up for them, and get loans and then crash it out. So, like I said, we gotta stay more safe, more protected. Um, Gotta stay more protected. Gotta stay more aware and more cautious of what's going on, so things like this won't happen. All right, so make sure you guys are staying more safe, more cautious, more aware, being more smart, doing your research before you let anybody just finagle you and letting you believe certain things. Like start using your brain, start doing your own research. Because I did a lot of reaction videos to show y'all, like, look, this is what's going on. These things that y'all trying to do and ask me to talk about, I'm gonna talk about it and I'm gonna show y'all why these are crackhead scams, all right, and how people are utilizing credit more after COVID-19 to get money on the legal and illegal side. So we're gonna be talking about that more in videos. We're back to the gyms that's gonna help you win. All right. So with that being said, be more smart, be more cautious, be more aware out there. Get y'all life locked, Norton's, freeze y'all credits, so nobody can get nothing in your name, and get to stay ahead of with y'all cards. Every 3 months, switch them, get new numbers, because you use your card all these places, and every place you use your card is in that database. And who's to say that company might get compromised or somebody in that company is working? You never know. So just stay steps ahead of what's going on out here. All right. So shout out to all my real King Hustle fans, supporters, and subscribers out there, because without y'all, there'd be no me. Y'all motivate me keep going. Y'all motivate me keep dropping this sauce, and y'all motivate me keep y'all entertained. So shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there that's tired of being broke, because it ain't no joke, let's get to work. FaceTime one-on-one unlimited gems are $1,000, but for limited time only, I'm doing it for 500. Yes, 500 Cash App or Bitcoin payment. Once the 500 is on your Cash App or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know your payment ready, and we will go from there. All right, no screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions, and please do not yell me. Also, make sure y'all book y'all seat on the crypto tour, in-person limited gems. $3,500, $500 deposit, the rest of the money meet in person. Make sure y'all